One. Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Larry White Sr. broadcasting live from the Dr. Larry White Sr. Show. And it's been a week. I know I took off last week. I was supposed to be in Tampa. So for you all that thought I was going to have a show last week, I didn't because of the current situation that was going on. So we are here today. And I want to thank everybody for joining the show this week. We got some amazing guests. But I just want to start off with a couple of the events that I have to postpone. Again, not canceling, but postponing. So again, last week, Tampa was canceled because of the current COVID-19 situation, restaurants closing, things of that nature. Atlanta, I have talked to all of you all. We're postponing Atlanta Deposit Your Dreams into Success tour until this virus gets under control. There's another event, May 23rd at Lake Presidential. That one more than likely will get rescheduled as well. And then with Dr. Cheryl Wood and her twin sister, Cherie M. Good, that's June at Microsoft. We should be coming out of it by then, but more than likely, all the events that you see on my website will be postponed until August. That's what I'm projecting. So that's it. Again, we have some amazing guests. So we're going to go up to my top left, Sandra Stockton. Good morning. Tell our listening audience here in about 30 seconds to a minute, for those who may not know who you are, Sandra, tell us who you are.
I am the second of 7 children, 6 girls and a boy. My father was a long-haul truck driver, my mother a homemaker, and soon to be a single mother. I was the mother of 3 and widowed by the time I was 19. My childhood was traumatic by any sense. I witnessed domestic violence regularly. The helplessness was unbearable. I was in the trenches and didn't even know it. I was determined to get out from under. That's who I am.
Absolutely. And listen, since there's so many of us on the line, if you are not speaking, just mute your line if you are not speaking. That'll probably help with some of the sound. But Sandra, I want to thank you for being transparent. We're going to come right back to you shortly. To my top left might be to the listening viewers top right, Dr. Essie McCoy. In about 30 seconds to a minute, for those who may not know who you are, tell everybody who you are in a nutshell and what do you do for a living?
Good morning to all the guests and good morning, Dr. White. I am Dr. McCoy. I am a mother of 2. I have a son and a daughter. My son is currently home with me, which is a great thing because I get to connect with him. I'm an educator, author, speaker, coach. I've written 7 books, a host of the Education First show in Maryland. Also, the 7 books, they are all listed on my website. I am redesigning my website, so stay tuned. Some of you may already see that. But love what I do, love education, love giving back, and love making a difference.
Dr. McCoy, I got to tell you, congratulations on all your success. About a year ago, you didn't have 1 book. Now you got 7. So
that is a blessing.
I'm blessed to have been a part of that first project, and you just went on and soared after that. So kudos to you there, sister.
Well, thank you, and thank you for serving as my business coach.
Hey, look, I tried. Hey, look, I did good for a year and then I got fired.
No, I just outgrew you.
Yeah. I told you I'd get you good on the startup. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go to my next to Dr. McCoy. You know, I did a course with John Maxwell. It's called Intentional Living, and it talks to you about connecting with, I don't like to say like-minded, I say like-hearted people, right? So Daphne, I've been checking you out on social media. You've been amazing. Daphne, same question. For those who may not know who you are, what you do, tell us a little bit about what you do for a living and who you are in about 30 seconds to a minute.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. White, first of all, for having me on the show. And it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to meet your audience as well as the other guests here. My name is Daphne Wilson. I'm president and founder of Bell Financial. And to keep it really super simple, I buy mortgages instead of property. I buy mortgages from banks and hedge funds, and people pay their mortgage on their home every month, and that payment goes into my checking account. So it creates a long-term passive cash flow for years. So essentially, I'm the bank. I'm also founder of Note Newbie, which is an investment education company that provides training and mentorship primarily to those folks who are brand new to real estate.
Well, look, I got to tell you, looks like you got some generational wealth going on. So you take some of that money from the bank and you go out and purchase my book at VIPEventsConcierge.com. I appreciate you. Nice little shameless plug there, right, Daphne? All right, let's go down here to Michi. Michi, I want to thank you so much. My apologies, not catching you earlier. It came as a business that I didn't recognize in Greenbelt. But thank you for fighting through the technical challenges this morning. Michi, I want to thank you for buying an advanced copy of my book. The last time I saw you and your amazing husband, you were at the red carpet screening for the movie Harriet, which I was so proud of that project. So good morning, Michi. Tell us a little bit about what you do in about 30 seconds to a minute there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here with the other guests as well. And I want to say to Sister Sandra, my father was a truck driver too. So I grew up in a home, the youngest of 4 children, the only girl. I am an Air Force retired veteran. I am also a breast cancer survivor. I have also authored my first book in May of last year, well, May 2018, called No More Bad Days, about my cancer journey and life afterwards. And I'm also a financial literacy educator and guide.
You know, Michi, I got to tell you, you on fire. I see you all, you are taking advantage of social distancing. I see you in the different business groups, posting a lot of stuff. You're doing financial literacy. Really proud of you. You sharp.
Thank
and
you.
I want to thank you for, as a former Navy veteran, I want to thank you for your service as well, okay?
Same to you. Thank you.
All right. I guess we saved Michelle Hammonds for last. She's been patiently waiting. We chatted yesterday. She just launched a new book. She logged on at 9:38. And to make Dr. Essie McCoy laugh, I used to live in Naples, Italy for 3 years. And she logged on at 9:38 and I hadn't had my first glass of wine. And the fact of the matter is, it's like, Larry, don't you think it's a little early to drink wine at 10 o'clock? Hey, it's 7 o'clock over in Italy. So we get it on. Michelle, welcome to the show. And just go ahead, go for it, Michelle. I'm not going to be as politically correct with you because we talk just about every day, but what you got going on, sis?
Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Larry, for having me on today. You say talk a little bit about yourself. I can just say that I'm a lover of people. I love connecting with people. And, you know, in my career as I'm an author, coach, I'm a psalmist. A lot of people don't know that side. I'm just a multi-talented. I just thank God for the gift that he uses through me to help other people. That's just all that's all I'm about. You know, I have business dealing with holistic health, different things like that, but I'm just a lover of people. That's all I can say, this title.
Well, look, let me just tell you this. Let me say this to you all. Dr. McCoy has already set the bar, connect with everybody. But let me tell you something. You're going to talk to people, if you're a business owner, author, mother, grandmother, grandfather, you're going to run into a lot of people that's going to give you a lot of excuses, okay? This one down here, she told me some stuff last night, blew me away. For what she told me, and I'm not going to put it out there, I would probably not be doing a whole lot. And it's called perseverance and it's called faith. And let me tell you something, if you need somebody you can count on, that one down there. And I'm saying that to say, because we all get our God-given talents, right? But, you know, now we're being tested with this COVID-19. And I'm seeing a lot of people panic. I was a little concerned initially. I ran out, got some groceries, and my wife was like, hey, whoa, don't go pile up that much. We're going to be good. And I just found myself in prayer all last night, because I'm blessed that I'm still getting paid for some other businesses, and some of my colleagues are not getting paid. And so we have a lot to be thankful for, and we pray that this thing get out of here as soon as possible, because each and every day you see the numbers go up. But I just want to thank you, Michelle, just everything that you do. Appreciate you. All right, let's go back up here to Sandra. Sandra, first question for you. What does a snapshot of your humble beginning look like?
Well, I kind of gave you a little bit of that in the first question. growing up with 7 siblings in a house with a mother and father, they both worked. And like I said, my mother worked doing hair and side jobs and working for people with money. I think that I had a childhood that was half happy and half sad because of having an abusive father. I think that all those things that I went through made me stronger in who I am today to help me raise my children.
Well, look, I'm going to stick with you, Sandra. I really appreciate you giving it right back. Let's go back to your third question. Why have you decided to open up and put your lessons into paper in your upcoming book? And congratulations on you being an author. I think everybody, Daphne, you got a book too? Soon. So, hey, Dr. McCoy, to your left, my right, whatever, she'll be happy to be your book coach. I'm pretty sure. But
Great.
I'll assist.
absolutely.
Okay.
And look, let's go back up to you really quickly, Sandra. What made you put everything to paper and for your upcoming book?
Because I think that everything that I've been through, I have a lot to offer that no one knows I have to offer. I truly believe that somewhere out there, there is some young mother in her worst, darkest moment that she thinks she could be in, and she thinks that she can't make it. But me, I think I'm living proof that it can be done. I think that people are just resilient and use their self-preservation and just stick to what they want to do. They can get where they want to be. Success does not have to be out of reach for anybody, no matter where you came from, no matter what hole you fell out of, no matter what street you walked. Success is there. Reach for it, go for it. Get it.
Amen, amen. Listen, this will be a very important show for me, probably one of my best. I've had Stacey Lattisaw on this show and Mark Clark from WHUR. I mean, Dr. Tashika Green, you name it. I've had some sharp people on this show. And each week, it just seems to just grow and grow and grow. But I just want to say, with everything that's going on in the world today, I thank all of you for being on the show. I love your faith. I'm a big fan of all of you all. So thank you once again, Sandra. Let's move down here to Dr. Essie McCoy. Dr. Essie McCoy, you are a retired educator. You've written all these books. What inspired you? You know, my wife is an educator, and I don't see how y'all do it. I just really don't. It's a lot of work and not a lot of pay unless you can get up to the principal level, which you have done. But as a young person in middle school, high school, what got you on the path to be an educator? What was your passion there?
Well, I can tell you, Dr. White, the first thing is the grace of God, that I have had a very positive career, and I've been very fortunate. I've been in the field, like you said, 30 plus years. I started my career, of course, thinking when I was in high school that I wanted to become an educator, a teacher, had no idea that I would go on to become an assistant principal, executive director, chairperson, professor, you name it. I have done it from pre-K all the way to college. And once again, I've been very fortunate, very blessed. Growing up, I grew up from very humble beginnings. And I can tell you that my father stopped in the 9th grade, and my mother, who has transitioned, and the young lady, Demetria, I can tell you she passed from breast cancer in 2013. And my mother stopped in the 8th grade. And thanks be to God that I was able to get 4 degrees. And when I go out and do speaking engagements, I tell kids that I've been to 12 different colleges or universities. Either I've sought degrees, or I have completed leadership programs there, or I've taught there. So I've been very blessed, very fortunate, and I just try to give back a little bit or a whole lot of what God has given through me, through speaking engagements, through serving, through writing books, just sharing my knowledge, because I want to leave all this knowledge and leave a legacy behind.
Well, Dr. McCoy, first of all, thank you so much. 30 years in education, you don't look a damn day over 25, I can tell you.
I'm not.
So, yeah,
Thank you.
Much. Absolutely. Daphne, listen, I got to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of people of our color doing what you're doing. What inspired you, to be this mortgage investor, because I got to tell you, I didn't purchase my first home until I was in my 30s. And I had paid all that rent all that year, didn't get no equity out of my home. And it just seems that, there is a lack of what you do in the African-American community. So I got to ask you, as an African-American female, what got you involved into mortgage investments?
Actually, I found out about mortgage investing quite by accident. I had the goal of retiring myself. I wanted to retire by the time I turned 50, so I could basically travel the world. And I thought real estate would be a good way to go about doing that and making that happen. But with no real estate background other than owning my own home, I decided to attend a free real estate seminar in my hometown of Chicago. And I went to the seminar, and the gentleman opens up the seminar and he says, these are the top 10, 12 ways people make money in real estate. So he's going down the line. He gets to number 6 or 7, and he says, you know, regular, ordinary people can buy the mortgage instead of the property. They can buy the mortgage from the bank. And instead of homeowners paying the bank every month, they'll pay you. And I thought, wait a minute, you got to be kidding. I've never heard of anything like this before. So at the break, I go over to him and I say, you know, when are you going to talk some more about this mortgage note thing? And he says, well, this isn't the seminar for that. We're going to talk about fixing and flipping, acquiring rental properties, and wholesaling. So I wasn't interested in any of that. So I left and didn't attend the rest of the seminar. But I went home and I Googled until my heart was content. And the more I found out about it, the more I liked it. So the rest was just history after that.
Sounds good. I'm sorry, I'm paying attention. It's just some folks are like, Larry, where's the show? I want to see them ladies. And I told them, it's coming. And listen, you know, as I am talking to Michelle, and we're going to go to Michi here in a moment, I would like to talk to you offline because we are looking at doing a lot of virtual workshops and seminars, and I'd love to have you on sometime over the next week or two to just do a little seminar via Zoom. And I promise you, we will be live. I'll figure out what happened technically. It's crazy. I did a Zoom last night with my mentor and no problems. But Satan will not get a victory today. We will get this out to the public. So thank you, Daphne, for sharing. Let's go down here to Michi Jeffries. Same thing, like what inspired you? I mean, I was like a person, my father went to the military in the Navy. My brother went to the Navy. So it was just kind of tradition to go to the military, which, as you know, some of the youth we have today, most they should probably make it mandatory for some youth to go to the military. Just keeping it real, the stuff that I've been seeing. And I just want to share this really quickly because I got Daphne up there laughing. One day I was taking my kids to school and I saw a young boy with his pants sagging down to his ankles. And I stopped the car. And my kids said, Daddy, please don't be messing with these young boys. They might beat you down. I said, I wish one of them would. And I told the young man, I said, young man, could you pull your pants up? And he said, sir, nobody in my home tells me that. And I thank you for telling me. And he pulled his pants up, you know. And I just sometimes, you know, I know there's some fear factors. Some of these young folks crazy, but I had to tell him. I said, I just couldn't walk past that young man and see his pants sagging like that. And you know, we know where it came from, but just for these youth to do that, you know, we're better than that. So what made you, Michi, join the military? And then you just matriculated on to do so many great things. But what was your passion to go into the military, retire, and then keep on doing what you're doing in the leadership?
I actually got into the military because of circumstances, meaning that my family didn't have the money to send me to college. And I knew I did not want to stay in Daphne's hometown, which is my hometown, Chicago. There was nothing there for me. So that's what really made me want to pursue going into the military. And because I had a close family member that had been in the Air Force, and I also had a person who's like a brother to me. He's been in my life since I was like 5 years old. He was in the Marines. And of course I had the Army recruits coming to the house, and it was my beloved brother. He said, Michi, whatever you do, just wait. Don't go into the Marines. Just wait. I said, okay, I'll do that. So I waited. And I went in at the ripe old age of 18 and came out a full-grown woman at the age of 44. And the Lord allowed me to rest for 3 years, to just rest, do nothing, do no ripping and running, do no hustle and flow, just rest. And that's when I stumbled across financial literacy, and that was my other God-given purpose besides breast cancer, which came towards the latter end of my career in the Air Force.
You know what? First of all, just powerful. Let's go back to Chicago. I meant to talk about Daphne. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I'm from Gary, Indiana, and I spent half my life in Chicago with my grandparents. I just left Chicago in January for a book signing, and it was amazing. And so, yeah, I know it's tough on that south side of Chicago,
Yes.
but I just wanted to shout out to you, Michi. Shout out to you, Daphne. Daphne, I just think I figured out how I found you. You know Shauna Jones, is that correct, out of Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay, because she's into some of that stuff you're into, like mortgage, real estate, things of that nature. So yeah, that's cool. Chicago in the building. 312, everybody. 312.
That's right.
All right.
Represent.
Okay. Michelle, tell us how you've been able to be successful as a mother, a wife, look, we had a meeting one day. You drove about 4 hours, and I was like, wow, you had the grandbaby and everything. Talk to us. What keeps you grounded to keep doing everything you do for your family, your business? And has there been any struggles along the way that you had to persevere to stay on track?
Oh my gosh, talk about struggles. It actually, you talk about going back to childhood. I've shared this in some of the stories in some of my books. I had an identity crisis due to the fact that I was I was adopted by family members who were much older, and I had to live with my mother giving me away, but then yet she ended up adopting other kids later on in life. So I basically had to deal with the identity crisis. Who am I? Who am I willing to be? Go through the challenges. One, because of skin color. Two, the second is because I'm a female. Jobs, never could get the job promotion, very skilled for it. So that was my perseverance. I love it when people tell me no, because that makes me move to where it is today. Then help several companies build their companies up. So I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing stuff for other companies while I can literally do this for myself. So it all was God's plan. So that's how I become successful. I still persevere through things. So those were some of the struggles that I had to go through to get to where I'm at today. And I'll do it because, again, I'm like to be a legacy. And that's why I bring my granddaughter around, let her introduce her to certain things throughout life so she can lead in it. I'm living her, let me be the example for her.
Michelle, let me just say this to you all. It's 10:30. Don't worry about it. Let your PR people know that they will get this link live. One thing I tell you, I will push through, but I'm gonna go back to Michelle. We got about another 5, maybe 10 minutes. So if y'all bear with me, because I got to get out a few more questions. But look, I took a little note here. If Michelle can do it, why can't we? And Michelle, I met my real father. I was 13. I could relate. I'm not going to go into it. But Dr. McCoy knows this. But, I was raised by a Caucasian man in Gary, Indiana, south side of Chicago area. And it was really weird because my mother was fine. She was beautiful like y'all, and she was married to a white guy. So just imagine how that,
right.
I had to go to school every day explaining why this white guy is in my home every day. And some of the things I do today is because of the things I had to go through in an urban area with a white man in the home every day. But I will tell you, he was a great provider. He and my mother were married for 40 years, but we all have some things that we had to overcome. And, I'm getting ready to go up to you, Sandra. I knew who I was, but I joined the 100 Black Men of Baltimore just to see what it was like to be around some strong Black men. And I got to say, a lot of them were just as battered and bruised as I was, had been raised by single mothers, went through molestation, things of that nature. And I realized I didn't really miss too much because there was some broken homes throughout that organization. But it's where you take it from there. So I want to go back to you and just say this to you, Michelle. Every time I think about want to quit doing something and we have a conversation, I say, you know what? I got a little left in the tank. Michelle can come through this so I can do it. So thank you so much, Michelle. I'll be back to you shortly and we'll wrap up here in the next 5 to 6, 7 minutes, everybody. Okay, Sandra. similar. What has been the biggest challenge in your adult life, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge in my adult life, in 1991 in February, I was stationed in Korea. I'm a soldier, 30 years in the military.
Wow. Okay. Hey, thank you for your service. I didn't catch that one in your bio. So, hey, wow.
30 years.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, my baby daughter called me. And that means the United States was probably the night before. And I thought I was dreaming when she called me, because I said, did I just talk to you? She said, yes. And then I happened to hear all my other children on the phone in different states. I'm like, what's going on? And they were telling me that my mother's house was on fire in Pennsylvania. And then my nephew, I could hear his voice saying they brought 2 body bags out. So being the person knowing your mother and sister burned up in a fire was the most challenging thing I had ever had to face. I guess the worst thing was riding home on the plane for 18 hours from Korea to Washington, D.C. Getting home and going through everything I had to go through with my siblings, staying in the States for 30 days and flying 18 hours back to Korea and thinking about suicide because I didn't have my mother anymore. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I didn't get over it. It was a challenge. It's there, but I learned how to live with it. I live with that every day, but I'm good now. And I have that memory, and it made me stronger than I had ever been. So that was my most challenging situation, the hardest thing I ever had to get through. Yeah.
You know what I say, Sandra, on the show, Michelle watches the show quite regularly, and I do invite y'all to watch the show even if you're not on the show. We got some good folks to come on every week. And I tell people this, we laugh on this show, we cry, and these are tears of joy. I am a big fan of all of you, and you can feel the synergy and the transparency here. So Sandra, let them tears flow. My mother used to always tell me, I used to be in the mirror all the time, and she said, "You think you're cute, boy?" And I said, "Hey, you know, I think I'm all right." So we ain't never too cute on this show to be who we are, because your message, Dr. McCoy, your message, Daphne, your message, Michi, we're reaching people. And I just talked to your PR person, Sandra, to let her know that this link will go live. Dr. McCoy and Michi's getting to know me, and Daphne, but Dr. McCoy and Michelle know if I'm supposed to do something, I'm going to do it. And it's going to take an act of Congress for something not to happen like this show. So we'll get out to our viewing, listening audience. So Sandra, thank you so much. Dr. McCoy, all this success, mother, 5 times, 6, 7, I can't keep up, best-selling author. Tell us some challenges that you've had in business, education, and how did you persevere through all of that to be who you are today?
Wow. I don't think we have enough time, but I think the most important thing for me was to have parents who constantly told me that an education is important. I grew up in a rural area in North Carolina, actually grew up very poor. So didn't have a lot of things, but that didn't stop me, and it didn't stop my parents from telling me to get an education. And through the power of acquiring degrees and going to leadership programs at Harvard University and different universities throughout the nation, I was able to create success for myself. So I contribute all of my success to God, my parents, and my family. I lost my mother in 2013, breast cancer. And that was a challenge for me. But I was able to overcome and to move on, because not only do I have my mother's name, but because I'm a writer, I was able to write this lengthy, beautiful poem for her and deliver that at her service. And I had my brothers and sisters on the podium with me. And so just taking every challenge and turning that into an opportunity. Even with the COVID-19, looking at, you know, all the people that are coming together and making a difference. Yes, it's a tragic situation that we're losing so many lives, but I always try to take the positives out of the negatives and create success and create opportunities and share that with other people. And I've done that my entire life, personal life and also professional life.
You know, again, as we wrap up here, got a couple more questions for everybody. The fact of the matter is, I've been able to witness a lot of your brilliance with the collaborations we've had with the Mastermind Group. And I thank you for always using your platform to give back to higher education, the community, business owners. I've had the opportunity to benefit from you. And my wife reminded me last year at the Black History Program, the county executive goes, there's a whole lot of doctors up here, Dr. Essie McCoy, Dr. Marcy Roth, Dr. Malika Moore, and it just goes on. So thank you so much for, again, giving back, because you could have easily, you know, a lot of times people make it and they never go back, you know. In my humble opinion, that was the issue with desegregation and taking prayer out of schools. So much left the community and they were there with no resources. So I want to thank you for going back and helping your community. Daphne, all right, you are bank. You the bank, and we need a loan. So tell us, you know, this isn't what I had for you, but how does this COVID-19 affect you and your business? Because I see a lot of stimulus packages coming out from the White House, the state of Maryland. My mentor told me last night, Dr. White, just because you're getting paid, you can still qualify for Maryland's $1,200 based on you and your household. So I told my wife, hey, let's go get our money to a point, because everybody gets a check. But just go ahead and talk to us a little bit about how is this COVID-19 affecting your mortgage business, and what are you doing about it?
Actually, the great thing, and perhaps the one thing that brings me the most satisfaction, is that when you own the mortgage debt and you are essentially the lender, I'm really in a position to be able to help homeowners that are going through this crisis and experiencing loss of income. Because, you know, when you own the debt, you can do a lot of creative things to help the homeowner directly. And, you know, things such as, you know, giving them a forbearance so that they don't have to make a mortgage payment for a few months. And they don't have to worry about making that payment or making a greatly reduced payment every month. So, you know, these types of things, I'm actually very, very close to my borrowers. And so I understand their situations. And so they're able to reach out, and I'm able to really help them and be able to do that in a very fast and simple manner.
Well, look, I want to thank you so much. I got one more question for everybody as we get ready to wrap up. Michi, I see you, and thank you so much, Daphne, for sharing that. Let's talk offline, Daphne, see what we can do next week for a maybe 30-minute seminar here on Zoom about mortgage investing. I think that would be very beneficial to America, do that with you. And I encourage all of you all to have Daphne on your platform. Michi, I'm following you on social media. I would ask the question, what upcoming events you have, but we know we can't really be out in the public. So where can we find you on social media? Because I see you always doing speaking engagements and virtual workshops. So what do you got coming up that we can tune into on social media?
So before I go into that, I would like to first say to Daphne, you are truly a lender and not the borrower. And I am definitely interested in the mortgage investment piece. I'm very inquisitive about it. So yes, I would love to get offline with you too. So back to your question, Doctor. Right now I'm fasting, so I'm not on social media as much for like the next 7 days. However, I do get on there at night. And what I do encourage people to be a part of, that I'm also a part of, is our virtual Zoom financial education workshops. I am not there physically and, you know, visually, but I am there behind the scenes, getting the education and also encouraging other people to get that education as well. On the other flip side of that, I was just on there a couple of nights ago with somebody on their radio, on their talk show in Chicago. So I was doing that. And this. So right now I'm pretty much laying low right now.
I can't tell you laying low. You still out there broadcasting, but it's all good.
So every now and then you'll see me talking about my book as well, about my breast cancer journey. Where I'm at right now, doctor, is I am looking to branch out into doing more speaking engagements about my book, as well as for it to be a stepping stone for a motivational speaking engagement too, to help and encourage other people. So that's what I'm also doing. And I've also got 2 other books that I've been working on. Not sure when the Lord is going to release me to actually publish them, but I do have them written as well. So you never know what's going to happen and when you're going to see me doing what.
Look, if you send her a friend request, you can get up and there's always something positive she's doing. Just keep it going. Listen, I want to mention this. This has a direct correlation to what you said, Michi. And I want to give shouts to Dr. McCoy. You know, every show I've had, every event I've had, I've connected some people. And the fact is that my book, the first book I wrote that Dr. McCoy proofread for me, she's in there with acknowledgments. That book has sold over 1,000 copies in 1 year, right? And it's all about connecting with folks, you know, that book. And so when I hear, Michi, you say you want to reach out to Daphne, it just warms my heart, because when I put the show together, I expect y'all to network, and that's the platform for this show. It's about, like Michelle didn't ask me, Dr. McCoy, because they've been around me, but Daphne, she's sharp. She's like, hey, what's the show about? I said, leadership, empowerment, inspiration. She wanted to know what was the platform. And it's also about connecting people as well. All of you all are sharp. And I'm saying that because I just love when I'm like not even in the room and I see folks connecting based on something I did, because you never know when you have an initiative if anybody gonna buy your book or show up. And so when you have a workshop and your name is on it, and you start seeing people put butts in the seats, you're like, man, people are coming. And so it's really good to see everybody connecting. And Michi, thank you so much. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, Michelle, what you got coming up? What's next? How can we tune in, Michelle?
Okay, so of course, as of today, I will be putting out the link for my newest book. Again, I do the holistic health side. I got diabetes self-management, which is one of the things that's in our community, my African-American community, that we need to really, really take on, because it really can do a lot for us. Again, I'm doing both health with the mind, body, and the soul. So I have a new book, because now is a perfect time, because everyone is stressed out. So my newest book, which is coming out today, Let's Talk No Stress, which is a 49-page guidelines and tips and strategies.
Michelle, I just have to say this. Everybody, can we give Michelle a round of applause for launching that new book, everybody?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Michelle. Go ahead.
That's okay. God gets the glory. God gets the glory.
Amen.
But, you know, I put it out there, you know, one of the things in our community as well, we don't believe in the mental health portion of it, you know, because we've been so stricken and so on talking about that, you know, we can take everything to God, which, you know, we can, but there's also ways for us to get that clinical background and stuff. So that's one of the things that I'm pursuing, is getting our churches more involved in talking about the mental health portion of it. That's what I do in my job too as well. So that's all I have coming up. I did have a women's retreat, which, and I'm blessed and fortunate here on the Eastern Shore that I'm blessed to have hosted. It'll be its 12th year. We will try to do something later on in the year, but I host this retreat called Warm Your Heart, Warm Your Mind, and Warm Your Soul. It's on a beautiful resort, private little resort that I have, and I've brought over within the 12 years over 800 and some women together. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
I got to ask Michi this really quickly. We'll start with you. Website and contact information, Michelle.
Okay, so my website is www.im2inspire.com.
One more time.
www.im2inspire.com.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Michi, contact information and website, please.
Yes. So mine is WS as in Sam, B as in boy, CAM as in Mickey, PAIGN.com. /Meechie, MEECHIE, Jeffries, JEFFERIS.
Wow, try to say that 3 times fast. So we're going to do a replay on that one. And I want you to join one of my marketing classes. I'm going to talk to you about some marketing branding for IG and social media and things of that nature. But that's tight, that's tight. Dr. Essie McCoy, website and contact information.
So definitely you can find me on all the social media platforms, Dr. Essie McCoy. Also, my website page is www.dressiespeaks.com. And there are tabs there to book me. I too, like you, Dr. White, had 2 really big speaking engagements with the Department of Homeland Security in DC and also with the United States Coast Guard headquarters in DC, and those hopefully will be rebooked. So please stay tuned, look at my website and check me out on social media because I will continue to share that information.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. McCoy. Daphne Wilson, thank you. Daphne Wilson, contact information and website.
Contact information, folks can reach me either via email at dwilson@bellfinancial.us, or you can visit my website at mortgagenoteinvesting.info.
Thank you, Daphne, so much, so much. And listen, Sandra, you get to round out the show before I close out. Can you leave our listening audience with some contact information?
I don't have a website, but I am on all social medias. And my email is sandrastockton34@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody. Sorry about that. Folks still asking about the show. I'm serious. And listen, you all have been amazing. Your journey, just being transparent today. Sandra, I want to thank you. You've been amazing. We got to get you all back on the show. Dr. Essie McCoy, we have collaborated and just shared everything. I'm just so happy for you and all your success. And Daphne, I feel like I got a new sister. You know, you're a pioneer, a Pied Piper, if you will, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not used to seeing a woman of color. And I know they're out there, but not in my network. So I like to make sure I can give people options, and they like, hey, I need some mortgage investment. And, you know, hey, talk to Daphne. She's our go-to person about that. So thank you for giving a lot of knowledge and golden nuggets to everybody. Michelle, you know, perseverance is you. If I could go to Social Security right now and edit your name, put perseverance in there, and all of you all. And I just want to thank you so much for being on the show. And Meechie, I want to just say, you know, you've been through a lot along with you, Sandra, and you women are powerful. Each week, I got powerful women on the show. I've had a couple of guys on the show. I've had Sir Charles Carey. I've had Mark Clark from WHUR, who's married to the fabulous Fox 5, Allison Seymour. And I can't seem to get enough men on the show because they out playing golf and lollygagging all the time, right? And each week I want more men. They're coming, but this is just a testament of how well women leadership is. And it is March. I did kick off the show in March with Women's History Month. And so I celebrate all of you doing this Women's History Month, and just keep doing what you're doing. And I want to thank everybody for being on the show today. And I apologize for the technical difficulties that we had. Not one time did y'all lose your patience with me. And so I want to thank you all. I'm kind of like an OCD person. When things aren't working, I'm like, why is it just not working? And but I'm going to crunch this file up, and within the next 15, 20 minutes, I will tag all of you for the YouTube so you can get it out to your listening audience. So before I say goodbye, does anybody have any last things they think we may have missed?
No, but Dr. Larry, I will say this, kiss that beautiful grandbaby for me.
Oh, yeah. You know, I got to tell you, Thursdays are great. And let me tell you, I think, and I'll tell you why. Last Thursday, when the COVID-19 was really starting to get up there, I had to just kind of be myself and try to have normal activity, normalcy, right? So after the show, I get in my car and I drive an hour and a half to Woodbridge. You know how that drive is, Michelle and Dr. McCoy, and you, Sandra. But Thursdays are great because I get off the show and I go get my grandbaby. But today we're going to do some social distancing from her, let her be with her other side of her grandparents. So I will not get her today, but I want to thank you, Michelle, because that's been the limelight of my life. I had to kick my wife to the curb, kick my kids to the curb, and she is just my new beautiful, you know, sometimes she's my date for lunch. But I thank you all for noticing, because this second book, and thank you, Sandra, Michelle, all of you all, I know y'all get the book is dedicated to my granddaughter. So when we talked about Daphne and Michi, our financial investment people, it's all about leaving that legacy for generational wealth. And so I thank you all for everything. You're going to get the link for the replay. Please share it out. And I just thank all of you. As Dr. McCoy knows this, and Michelle knows this, I did have a pastor say this in the church one day, so I stole it. I'm not going to give you his name. I love you all, and you can't do a damn thing about it. All right?
And Dr. White, we love you too. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be on your show. Thank you for sewing into me and just believing in me and assisting me all along, because it was 2018, and look at where God has blessed me to be today. So thank you for all of your guidance and support.
You know, let me just say this. Let me just say this to y'all real quick. You know, me and Dr. McCoy have laughed, we have cried, and we have laughed again. I turned 50 and she hosted my 50-year birthday party along with some folks. That was a special day because I bought a new car. I never had a new car in 50 years. New car, new book. And so I got these hashtags. One of them is grow, glow, and show. Grow, glow, and show. So thank you, everybody. Michelle, Sandra, Daphne, y'all amazing. Go out and continue to impact the world with your brilliance. Let's continue to be safe. And I will be following you, all of you all, on your platforms. And we'll shrink the show down. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 1. But this show has been going since December 5th. I launched it on my birthday. And we've been going every Thursday. So think about it. December, January, February, March. The show's been going on for 4 months now. And I don't plan on stopping. I don't plan on stop touring. But we do all have to take a break with the COVID-19 until it gets under control. And I want to just leave y'all with this last thing. I normally don't mention this guy's name on my show, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a shameless plug today. Now, one person is going to be listening to what Donald Trump is telling us what to do to get back to normal in 10 days, right? I'm going to be listening to the health officials, whatever they say, because let me tell you, if y'all been following this thing, look at what has happened down there in New Orleans. Isn't that bad? Isn't that bad? And so y'all just continuously be safe. Let's call and check on each other. And I mean that. Dr. McCoy knows about this, and also Michelle. SAP, Spiritual Awareness Partners, Spiritual Accountability Partners. I had a young lady come to my home the other day. She needed toilet paper and paper towel, and we gave that to her. So I'm out here trying to figure out how I can help people that may not be as fortunate as we are. And so let's keep working together. Together we are better. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. All right, everybody. Have a blessed week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.